If you've ever wondered how great it's going to feel to be debt-free, here's a few other things to go along with that. I think it's something to be talking about, especially with everything that's going on right now in the economic world. Let's talk about some good things and some good things you could be doing to make your life a little bit better. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, you will have more money to spend. It's amazing how fast you see money kind of pile up when you're debt-free because you're so used to making payments. And then next thing you know, you don't have to make that payment. And then you just let the money sit and let it sit. And pretty soon you got a couple grand in there. Adds up really quick. And that's really encouraging when you are trying to see some benefit in not having payments. Now, with that ease and comfort, makes it a lot easier to fall asleep. When you're not worried about how you're going to make ends meet, you're not worried about bills to pay and are they going to be late? Do you have enough money? Are you getting any closer to being out of debt? Those things change rapidly when you get there. And the emotional release from not having all these payments and having this debt weighing down on you is eye-opening, and yet helps you get to sleep. I know that sounds kind of silly, but you know what I'm saying. It's refreshing not to have payments and not to be worried about it. All right, the next big thing you will probably notice is your credit score will go up. Most likely, let's say that, because you never know for sure. There's so many different ways that they use credit and calculate credit, but 30% of your credit usage or 30% of your credit score is calculated using your credit usage based on how much credit you have available with credit card debt. You know, like if you have a $20,000 credit card, the less of that debt that you're using, the higher your score goes. However, they're not real fond of the fact, and I've found this out myself, of you having excess credit that you never use, because then it just looks like you could get yourself in trouble someday and not know it, and they don't see it coming. So something to consider with that. But that definitely makes a difference when your credit score goes up. It makes interest rates on cars better, it makes interest rates on homes better, it makes interest rates better in general for you. However, we're going to get to another point of that here in just a second. All right, the next thing you're going to notice is that because you have more money, you can change and make new finance goals. Sorry if you cannot hear over the air blowers and leaf blowers. Good gracious. It's like going to rain and they're out working. Anyway, as you get more money piling up, you can make new financial goals, whether it be to fund your retirement, to fund a second home purchase, to fund some vacations. Those are definitely up to you. But, and then going along with that, number 6 or number 5, is that you have more options. You can take trips, you can change careers. Maybe you can go back to college because that's something you've been putting off while you helped your kids. You can retire. It's a lot easier to retire with no debt, folks. And that's definitely my plan. We have a little bit left on a car that I'm just kind of him-hawing about as I pay. I could pay it off a little bit quicker, but I'm also like seeing the money going into my savings account because my savings account, high yield, is paying better than what I'm paying on the car. Like my car loan is like 2.25% because I have an amazing credit score. So when we got the car, we got a really good rate on it. And right now the money going into my savings account is making 4 and 5%. So it's hard to pay down any quicker when you don't really have to. As long as it's paid for before I retire, the payment's not that much. So it will obviously help, but it's not that big of a deal to be in a rush. All right, so another consideration, number 6, is that you may not have to work as much. My job, we are offered a lot of overtime typically. When things go bad, they go bad, but typically we're offered 50 to 60 hours a week. Because of my union, we are not mandatory to work it, so I don't have to work any overtime if I don't want to. Typically, I choose to because I got to come in and go to work anyway, and getting up at 4 o'clock has been my norm for so long that it's hard for me to sleep in, even on the days that I can sleep in. So I might as well just get up and go into work and get the 10-hour day in. And on the weekends, if I don't have anything going on, which I don't have anything going on if I'm not in Florida, I might as well go in and go to work. It's easy money. We used to have a guy that at work that he retired recently, a couple years ago, but nobody thought he'd ever retire because he was always talking about how much money he had, but never really left. He would always say, why wouldn't you come in? Are you mad at your money? Don't leave anything on the table. You know, they're giving it away. All you got to do is show up. That's true. But if you have other things going on and another life that you want to try to live, he didn't have one. But if you want a life, you don't have to work at all. Now, if you're just a regular office guy or a regular job and overtime's not the issue, maybe you can back off some of your hours anyway and not work as much at home or whatever. So things to consider. It's nice to have the options. All right, number 7. You suddenly strive to stay debt-free. It's amazing, right? Once you don't have any bills and you're not creating debt, you don't want more debt. It's so nice to not have to worry about having debt and seeing accumulation of money that gives you freedom. It's really nice. It's a nice place to be. And like I said, I could get a really good interest rate on a new car if I wanted to. I don't want car payments. I'm trying to get rid of what's left of the one I have. And I certainly am not going to turn around and buy another one just so I have a newer car. My cars are good enough. They're going to be paid for and I'm going to enjoy them. And being debt free is much more enjoyable. I will not buy another car until one breaks down beyond reasonable repair. And then I would consider it. And that would probably be most likely the car I'm driving. It's got 160,000 miles on it. It's a 2011, but he's a great car, and we've never had a lick of problems with him. I've changed the oil and the brake pads and tires, and that's the only thing that's ever gone into this car. And we've been driving it since we bought it in 2012. It was a 2011 trade-in, which was crazy. Only had 11,000 miles on it. So we've put most of those mileage on, 150,000 of the miles on this car, and all I've done is brakes and tires and oil changes. Okay, so moving on. Number 8, you can finance your new dreams, and they can be your dreams, and they're 100% interest-free. You don't have to borrow to do things because you have money saved. You have money in the bank, you have money coming in, and that once you get retired, it's going to make it a whole lot easier to do some of these other things you want to do. And that's a great place to be and a great feeling to have, to know that you have money, that if you decide on a whim you want to go do something, you can go do it. Now, I'm not recommending you go spend every dime you have. I know some people that as soon as they have extra money, it burns holes in their pockets, right? You've heard that expression. I got so much money, it's burning a hole in my pocket. Sometimes I feel my kids feel that way when they get some money, and it's like you need to learn some financial maturity as quickly as you can, because you're going to continue to have those money problems if you don't. But it's nice to know that you're now interest-free and your money is making money instead, and then you have your own dreams you can try to fulfill. And then I have one more bonus one, and this comes from Dave Ramsey. There is nothing better than knowing that you have money and you can give and be generous. So that's an amazing feeling. It's great to be able to help my kids as much as I can. Obviously within reason. I am retiring, but if you don't have any debts, it's a lot easier to help and give and do the great things that there are out there to do and contribute to. So I would encourage everybody, get debt free. You'll be amazed by the change in your lifestyle, the change in your feelings, the change in the way you do everything, knowing that every time you go to the store, you don't have to worry about money because you've paid everything and it's paid on time. Anyway, go debt-free, be debt-free. It's the best thing to do. Know your numbers. Those are always great things to know. Know what you owe, who you owe it to, how fast you can pay it off. Okay? Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time.